and welcome to Christmas by the Book, which is Bright Books Club holiday show. I'm so happy that you're tuning in tonight. Before we get into the show, of course, I want to encourage you to like, share this broadcast on your social media, wherever you are right now. We have a very special guest who's joining the Bright Books Club tonight, but he is no stranger. He's actually been in the Bright Books Club, sharing his phenomenal work that he's been doing with children's books, as well as in the educational field in general. So without further ado, I want to bring Dorsey Spencer onto the broadcast because he has a new book out, but I'm going to let him tell you all about it. Dorsey, welcome back.
Hi, Portia. How's everything going?
Can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Let's see. Dorsey is working through his technical. Let me see. Unmute yourself, Dorsey. Can
you hear me now?
Still can't hear you, but yeah, I'm excited to have Dorsey in tonight. He actually, you may have remembered him from his book "Worms Are a Yummy Snack," that he was sharing with us when we first launched Bright Books Club a few months back. So, Dorsey, can you hear me, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
And so we're just waiting for you to come on in, and so we can hear you. Let's see what we have going on here.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Dorsey, yes, I can actually hear you. Of course, for our viewers who are just tuning in, of course, we want to encourage you to like and share this broadcast. Of course, you are listening to Bright Books Club, our Christmas holiday special, which is Christmas by the Book. Dorsey Spencer, of course, is no stranger to the Bright Books Club because he's been here sharing his other book, Worms Are a Yummy Snack. He has a new book. So, Dorsey, for our viewers who do not know you, but they should know you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks for having me, Portia. It's great to be back again. So I'm really excited about it. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Dorsey Spencer Jr. I am an educator and entrepreneur. I primarily focus on books I'm an author also that writes about books or publishes books that focus on having characters of color as the protagonist, right? As the primary character that is in the front of the book. So my company, See Us Fly LLC, focuses on publishing books with Black or brown protagonists. So I recently have launched my second book, published my second book after a great launch with my first book, Worms Are a Yummy Snack. So my second book is Queen Cara in the Kingdom of Jama'a. So I'm really excited to talk more about that.
Okay, now Queen Cara in the Kingdom of Jama'a. Tell us how you came up with that, Dorsey, because I've never heard of this. Is this nonfiction? Is this actually a story in history that we need to know about?
So good question. No, it's a story that I kind of came up with as I was thinking about my second book. I really have noticed that there aren't a lot of books that are fantasy based that really have protagonists of color, right? That really where it's magic and the fantasy type of field. Even when you think about Disney stories, right? There's not many stories where there is particularly Black characters, right? In The Princess and the Frog, she's mostly a frog, right?
Right.
So it's not actually her being in charge of being a princess in that role. So I really wanted to think about creating a book with that, but I also wanted to tie in elements of African culture. Right. So I had the opportunity to live abroad for a few years, and I really want to incorporate African culture into that. So I guess it's more of an Afro fantasy book. And my daughter's name is Cara. So she likes to walk around quite a bit with a crown on her head. So we went ahead and just named the character Cara and incorporated her into the story. And she kind of guided me through what she liked and what she didn't like about the story, and that's how we ended up with the book. And there are certain terms and words within the book that were taken from Nigerian, in particular, culture, or the Hausa and Yoruba tribes of the Nigerian country. So there's keywords that are taken from those cultures.
Awesome. Now, Dorsey, you mentioned your daughter is Queen Cara now. Tell us what age group this story is most best for.
Yeah, so it's a good book for anyone that is 3 to 8, right? So for younger kids, it's a good story just to read to them and show them the pictures, and get them really excited about it. I've gotten really good feedback from preschool and K through 3 classes. And then for older kids, a little bit older, that first through third grade, it's a good book to read through to help them with their reading skills but also to get them excited about the story.
Awesome. Now this is so awesome. Now I want to take it back for a few moments because you mentioned living abroad, and of course, being able to have those experiences and now putting it in this story. What is that the most important message that you want people to learn by reading the story?
Yeah, so I think one of the key messages is that we can dream big, right? That we can dream and imagine things and engage in our imagination, right? A lot of times people deter people from engaging and really thinking more creatively. And I think this is an opportunity for children to really see themselves in a lot of different ways where the main character can become anything that she puts her mind to, right? By really working hard, but also is in an imaginary place, right? But also is given the ability to do that from her father's trip to another country, right? So it encapsulates some cultural elements, some magical elements, but also some self-determination elements as well. So I really want all those things to the readers and those who engage in reading this book to really get those messages from the story.
Awesome. Now tell us, where can people actually go pick up your books from? Because I mean, this is 2 now. This is huge.
Yeah, so the easiest place to get it is Amazon. It is also available in Barnes and Nobles. So if you prefer not to buy stuff on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles also have both books. So you should be able to get it there. There's also the Kindle version if you want to get it that way, and there's also an audio book for this particular book.
Awesome. Now, of course, we talked to you about your first book. Tell us some of the challenges, because a lot of people look at authors and say, "Oh, they just published overnight," but it's really not that easy. Tell us some of the challenges that you experienced while you were writing.
Yeah, so I mean, after you write your first book, you publish, and it's one of those things of, well, was it a one-time thing, right? Can you actually write again in a story that's actually entertaining and engaging? My first book was very different, right? It was much more based off of real things that I experienced, right? And incorporating life lessons. Where this one, it does have components of life lessons, but it was completely fictional, right? Everything I had to come up with was completely fake, right? From the name of the place that she visits to the antagonist in the story is completely made up, and I had to look at different things, and I was consulting with different friends about different names and different cultural elements, right? So it was a little bit more challenging because everything that I created was from my brain, right? Like it was from me completely making it up. I wasn't pulling from real life experience of like, oh, that's what it's like to go fishing and all these
Yeah.
different things, which was what in the first book. This one is like, hey, you have a blank slate, now create something, right? Because it's not something that you can just say, oh, I saw the story and I'm pulling from that. So it was a little bit more challenging in that way of creating a whole world, whereas the other one was more of like, people can relate to this.
Speaking of being relatable, it's hard to kind of like oftentimes find children's books where they can actually look in the book and see themselves. So representation is very important, and even in the the field of being an author, and things like that. What advice would you give authors out there who are looking to write some books, but they're not sure whether they should represent African American children or characters in their books?
Yeah, so the one of the best pieces of advice I can give any author, especially if they're focusing on the idea of representation, is write the stories you haven't seen, right? Write the
Mm.
stories that you haven't really seen or read to your children, right? Or read to your nieces or nephews. One of the reasons I wrote the first book was I really didn't see too many books, children's books, with a protagonist or a main character of color, where it was also a relationship with a father and son, right? Like I can't think of any book that I grew up with that had a book like that, had a storyline like that. So that's one of the main reasons I wrote the first book. And then this one similarly, right? I don't really see too many incarnations of a princess with black women, right? Or black girls, right? It's not too many things that we can really show them. I mean, there's definitely more and more stories around being, prideful in being a black girl and a black woman, right? There's definitely more and more of those for sure. But if to actually take a character to say, I want to be like her, right? But if you look on the other side, there are tons of white characters or animal characters or what have you that people like to imitate or replicate, right? So I was looking to create a character that little black girls or little girls of color or girls in general can look up to and say, I want to be, smart, powerful, and strong like this particular character.
Mm. Well, that is such a touching way to look at, your writing and things that you're doing. You're not only just writing children's books, you are assisting other people who want to publish your books as well, right?
Yes, so I've started to more or less consult with people, right? Those who are trying to get into publishing and helping them understand what the best route is for them, right? For everyone, self-publishing is not the best route for everyone, right?
Right.
It can be quite challenging and take quite a bit of work, but also some people don't have the patience for the traditional marketing, right? Which can take years to get picked up, your book to get picked up, right? Or in some cases, never get picked up. There are trade-offs for both, right? For both avenues. But
Yeah.
I try to help people really understand through consultation the idea of which one works for them, but also if they decide to go one or the other, what it takes to do those things. So I'm more than happy to talk with anyone about the challenges and the triumphs of going both routes.
Awesome. As always, inspiring and educated. And that's what we need more of. And so that's why I always have to have you come back and check us out at the Bright Books Club, of course. This story, I mean, it's different. I mean, there won't be anyone on the shelf like it, which is definitely helping you, establish a market of your own. And I'm just super excited. What do we have coming out in the future? Anything special that you're working on right now?
So it's funny you say that. I just as I was, you know, I'm trying to focus on marketing this book. Which, if if you're a self-published author,
Yeah.
that's probably the most challenging part is getting your book out there. So I'm trying to keep my mind focused on marketing. But I really, I've been doing a lot of work with my undergrad institution over the last few years, and I'm thinking about doing a children's book related to inspiring kids to go to college, but of course my particular alma mater specifically. So that might be the next project that I work on, but that might be a little bit of a ways off until I can get this book a little bit pushed out a little bit more. So go out and get the book for sure.
Definitely
So
go
I can
out and
write
get the
this
book
next
for
one.
sure. we definitely want them to do that. And of course, it's just available on Amazon. Where can people actually connect with you and talk to you if they're interested in hiring you as a consultant?
Yeah, so if you go to our website, so it's csfly.com, you can shoot me an email through that or through the comment section. There's a chat that pops up if you want to talk to me. But also you can shoot me an email at any point with csfly llc at gmail.com. That's also a good way to get in contact with me. You can also connect with me on social media. So csfly llc on Instagram is another opportunity for you to also connect. If you message me, we can connect that way. But happy to talk and set up a brief consultation with anyone who is interested or trying to explore the world of being an author or publishing.
Awesome. Dorsey, thank you as always for coming checking us out. I am definitely going to pick up this story because as you know, you've been following me on social media now. I actually have a child of my own.
Yep.
So so that's been definitely keeping me busy. And so I'm definitely going to pick up this book, of course. And I'm encouraging our viewers, make sure you go pick up all of Dorsey's books. They're on Amazon. Of course, if you go and search Queen Cara and the King of Jama'a, then you will find an actual space where you can actually follow Dorsey and continue to click on all of his books that he has on Amazon. Of course, Dorsey, thank you. I hope you have a blessed holiday season. I know people are going to be buying up this book to stock, what do you call it? Stuff their stockings this Christmas.
I hope so.
Of
And I
course,
hope you
I'm
have a great
definitely
holiday
ordering me a
too.
copy for DJ. So again,
Thank
thank you
you.
for being here tonight, and I'm looking forward to continue to follow you as always and seeing greater things take place.
No problem. Thank you for the opportunity. Happy holidays, and I hope to talk to you soon.
All right, thank you so much.
You too. Take care.
All right, great people. There you have it. go check out Dorsey. He's doing some phenomenal things. Of course, he is definitely a humble gentleman. I mean, because he has an actual doctorate in education, and so you definitely want to go check him out because he'll definitely inspire you. I follow him on social media, and he is definitely doing great things. Well, great people, I always step in and step out. Share the information and knowledge with you. I hope you will continue to follow us on Bright Books Club. That's on Bright Books Club on all social media outlets. Check us out. Go check out these books. These are great stocking stuffers. We want to encourage literacy within our youth. And in fact, here at Bright Books Club, we're actually on a mission to give 10,000 books per year to underserved school districts. And of course, we can't do it alone, so we need your help. Make sure you follow us on our website at www.brightbooks.org. That's www.brightbooks.org to find out more information about that. Well, great people, continue to stay blessed. Happy holiday season. I'll be talking to you real soon. Peace.